I call the honourable member for Durbell.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Social Services. Will the minister update the House on how the government's Jobs for Families package will provide families with greater choices?
I call the honourable Minister for Social Services.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank the member for Dobell for her question and the consultation and engagement she had with service providers and families in her electorate, as so many members on this side of the House has done to contribute to the formation of the Jobs for Families package that was announced on the weekend, Madam Speaker. 57% of families go back to work to pay the bills and to maintain their family standard of living. That's why they're going back. 57% are saying that. 47% of those who don't go back to work say they don't go back because of the cost of childcare. And, Madam Speaker, the Jobs for Families package is going to change that for those families, because this package will give greater choice to 1.2 million families, because we're going to make childcare simpler, more affordable, more flexible and more accessible. This support, Madam Speaker, for childcare is not a welfare payment. It is a support that helps families be in work and stay in work and to work more, because that's what families are increasingly needing to do, Madam Speaker, and we want to make sure they have those choices. We are investing $3.5 billion in lower and middle-income families to ensure that they get better childcare support to keep them in work and to put them in work, Madam Speaker. And also that funding is going to vulnerable and disadvantaged families through our childcare safety net. There will be greater subsidies for those on those lower to middle incomes, Madam Speaker. As the Prime Minister has said, $30 a week better off for those who are using those services in childcare. The safety net, particularly for those families with children with disabilities or those in remote and rural areas or places such as that, Madam Speaker, there is support to ensure that those families get the same choices that other families can access through the childcare system. And, Madam Speaker, greater flexibility with our in-home care nannies pilot program, Madam Speaker, which allows those who can't access mainstream care, nurses, police families, fireys, ambulance officers, shift workers, all of those who can't get access to the program now, they deserve the same choices that other families get too, Madam Speaker. And it's been well received, because Early Childhood Australia has said that this package, they describe them as these historic reforms, will make access to early learning services more affordable for the majority of working families. Early Learning and the Care Council of Australia says this is a big step forward for affordable childcare and early learning. Chief Executive Women says the shift in thinking about childcare as a facilitator to workforce participation rather than welfare is essential for the sustainability of Australia's economic future. And Good Start Early Learning, the biggest provider of childcare services around the country, says these reforms will improve childcare affordability for most low and middle income working families and get more mothers to work, Madam Speaker. This package gives families choice.